Okay. We're back here at Central Methodist Estes Field for game number 2 between Central Methodist and Mount Mercy. Central Methodist won the first game 4-3. They got one in the first, scored on the pass ball by Bobby Nichols, and then Mount Mercy scored 3 in the third inning. And then, of course, Central Methodist came with 3 in the sixth on the game-winning 3-run homer by Carlos DeGran for the 4-3 victory there as well. Central Methodist 24-4. 10-1 in the conference. Mount Mercy 12-13 and 8-3 in the conference there as well. We'll go ahead and give you today's starting lineups there. It is sponsored by the Commercial Trust Bank. Leading off and playing second base is their second baseman, Josh Notriano. Batting second and playing left field, that is Joel Vasky. Batting third, playing DH spot is Matthew Murphy. Batting fourth, playing right field, Kyle Lehman. Batting fifth is their first baseman, Jaden Hackbar. Batting sixth is their third baseman, Bryce Brown. Batting seventh, their shortstop, that is Kyle Mater. Batting eighth is the catcher, Nick Meyer. And batting ninth is their center fielder, Drake Frazier. And today's starting pitcher, it is Josh Fleming. For Central Methodist, that is, of course, Bobby Nichols in center field. That's Valentine Cerna Jr. is at second. Terry Sears at third. Carlos DeGran in right. Jeremy Conforte is the DA. Diego Duran is at shortstop. Zeb Wheaties in left. Joseph Weatherford is at first base. And Dominic Van Dorn, the catcher. Ray Ochoa is today's starting pitcher there as well. Of course, both coaches have met at home plate. We're about ready to get started for game number 2 there. Originally scheduled for 3:30, but I'm thinking we're going to start early. Maybe start a little before 3 o'clock then. Which that's okay by me, and I think Central Methodist baseball, we're getting ready to take the field there. Central Methodist trying to go for a 4-game sweep. Looks like the team is out there, out in the third base dugout there. Of course, we have a no score, I think in the 5th inning between Clark and Central Methodist in the softball game there as well. Jordan Ball is today's starting pitcher there. But the big one coming up in about 4 hours, it's the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers going at it. Rangers in that number 2 spot in the Eastern Conference. They're leading the way in the Metropolitan Division. So we should be getting ready to get started there. Here comes Central Methodist taking the field there. We'll go ahead and set the defense for you. Sponsored by Home Oil. Zeb Wheaties out in left. Bobby Nichols in center. Carlos Legrand's in right. Tanner Sears at third. Diego Duran is at short. Valentine Cerna Jr. is at second. Joseph Weatherford is at first base. And Dominic Van Dorn is the catcher with today's starting pitcher of Ray Ochoa. 3-0, 3.09 ERA from Elsinore, Missouri, around the Poplar Bluff area. Of course, I was excited to his mom, Misty. Well, I'm sure Misty is listening into the broadcast there as well. So, Misty, if you're listening in, I want to tell you hi then. Of course, we're about ready to get started. Game number 2. Game number 4 of this, the final game of the Thursday. Next up for the baseball one. Of course, Easter weekend, they'll be playing Mid-American Nazarene. Games 1 and 2 will be Friday. Pregame show at 12:45. First game at 1, second game at 3:30, and then games 3 and 4 next Saturday. Pregame show at 12:45, first pitch at 1, and then 3:30 for game number 2. Here's Josh Notriano, 1 homer, 11 RBIs. He went 1 for 3 in the first game of the double header with the double. Here in the first pitch. Tries to bunt, and a foul ball. That will come at 2:58 p.m. Temperature at 52 degrees. The time and temperature sponsored by the Parking Spot. Easy to spot and easy to park. The Parking Spot. And a strike call, 0-2 the count. Strike 3 call, so 1 out now. Here's Joe Vasky, 2 homers, 9 RBIs. Went 1 for 3 with a single and an RBI. First pitch to him. That's a ball inside there. 1-0 the count. 1 ball and no strikes. 2-0 the count. Two-0 pitch. Strike. 2-1 now. Fouls it all. 2-2 now. Just underway, game number 2. As Vin Scully will say, let's pull up a chair then. Two pitch. 3-2 now. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. 2 quick outs now. So 2 outs now, and here is Matthew Murphy. 2 homers, 13 RBIs. And the first game today went 0 for 3. There we go. First pitch is a foul ball, strike 1. Oh and 1 in the count. The 0-1. Ball 1-1 now. One ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Hits a high pop-up. Let's see who calls for it. And Diego Duran makes the catch for the 3rd out. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. We head to the first inning. No score here. And, of course, we'll go ahead and set the defense for you there. It is sponsored by the Exchange Bank. Out in left field, that is Joe Vasky. Out in center field, that is Drew Frazier. Drake Frazier out in right field there. It is Kyle Lehman at third base. Bryce Brown, shortstop. Kyle Mater, second baseman. Josh Notriano, first baseman. That's Jaden Hackbar. The catcher is Nick Meyer, and today's starting pitcher is Josh Fleming. 3-1 with 5 walks, 14 strikeouts. from Plainfield, Illinois. Of course, good right-handed pitcher there. We'll give you some score updates there. When Central Methodist and bottom of the fifth inning, a pitcher's duel taking place at the Cox. Actually, it's 1-0 heading to the sixth inning. On a Madison White single, and out to second, scoring Casey Jolly. So 1-0 now. Jordan Ball still on the mound there. Has a one-hitter going there. So Bobby Nichols will be the first batter up there. Drew Rasenflas coaches the first. Nate Brilliant at third. Here is Bobby Nichols. 348 hitter, 4 homers, 16 RBIs. He went 1 for 3 in the first game of our doubleheader. First pitch to him. Hits a little ground ball to the shortstop. Has it, throws over to first, and there's out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Here is Valentin Cerna Jr. Went 1 for 3 with a single. 1 homer, 19 RBIs. First pitch. Ball 1 there. One ball, no strikes, the 1-0. Hits a liner in the center field. The center field goes back, makes the catch right in front of the warning track. Too quick out. It's there. Tanner Sears in the first game went 1 for 3. So far this season, 8 homers, 38 RBIs. First pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1 now. Oh and 1 the count. On Tanner Sears. Ball 1-1 now. Carlos Negron hit a big 3-run homer in the 6th inning. They gave Central Methodist that 4-3 victory. 1-1 the count. The 1-1. Ball 2. 2-1 now. 2-1 the count. 2-1 the count. 2-1 pitch. Fouls it all. 2-2. Minnesota leads St. Louis 3-2 in the with 18:54 to go in the third period. 2-2 pitch. That's a bit high. 3-2 there. Of course, the big one, Florida and the New York Rangers on ABC television at 7 o'clock. Some finals there. As Sears ropes a liner. Base hit. Ladies and gentlemen, as Vince Scully was said, that is going with the pitch there for a 2-out hit. And here's Carlos Negron, hit a big 3-run homer. In the first game today, 1 for 3, 14 homers, 45 RBIs. Leads the team in home runs. Some finals say New York Islanders beat the Winnipeg Jets 6-3. Philadelphia Flyers beat the Boston Bruins 3-2. First pitch to him. There's a strike, 0-1 there. Keep you up to date with the NHL. You can always follow along on NHL.com. 0-1 the count on Carlos Negron. 0-2 the count. Sears at first with the 2-out hit. Oh, 2. Hits a high fly ball to left field. Back. back, away, back, and gone. Number 15 on the year, and Central Methodist leads it 2-0. RBI number 47 on the year. And so far in this doubleheader, he has 2 homers and 5 RBIs. And he could be a nominee for the Heart-America Conference Player of the Week. He's already did that about 3 weeks ago against Graceland, when he had, I believe, 2 homers and 10 RBIs. Jeremy Conforti, 3 homers, 17 RBIs on the year. Conforti went 0 for 3. I think there's supposed to be 2 hits for us.
Gotta be 2 hits on the board for us, please.
Oh, 1 ball, no strikes on Jeremy Conforti. Ball 2. Two and 0 the count on Jeremy Conforti. 2-0 pitch. That's a high pop up there. See who calls for it. I think the shortstop calls for it for out number 3. So 2 runs on 2 hits. Thanks to a 2-run homer by Carlos Legron has given Central Methodist a 2-0 lead. Yep, bet. I guess you heard that Central Methodist softball was up 1-0 in the 6th. Yeah, it was on a ground out by Madison White. Two runs, 2 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, no hits, no errors from Mount Mercy. As Carl Lehman comes to bat, 2 homers, 10 RBI. He was the starter in game number 1 from Soda, Iowa. Ray Ochoa with a 2-0 lead there. First pitch to him. There's a strike call set by Jim Quick. Larry Barnett is out in the field there. 0-1 to count. 0-1 pitch. And it's 0-2 on the inside corner. Oh, 2 the count. Here's your 0-2. Little chopper, foul. 0-2 the count. Final game of this 4-game series. Central Methodist won the first 3. Trying to go for a 4-game sweep. Loping liner. That's a fair ball down the left field corner. Lehman will stop at second with a leadoff double. So here's Jaden Hackbarth. 3 homers, 5 RBIs. In the first game today, went 0 for 2. First pitch, tries the bunt. Nice stop by Van Dorn. Ball 1. 1-0 the count. 1 hit already for Mount Mercy on the double by Lehman. 1 ball, no strikes. The 1-0. Tries the bunt. Bunts in the air. And Ray Ochoa makes the play. The old Mike Torres play. Remember when he got Lee Lacey, when he caught the final out on a bunt by Lee Lacey. in Game 6 of the 1977 World Series. Here's Bryce Brown, 1 homer, 4 RBIs. In the first game, went 1 for 3 with a single. First pitch. Nice stop by Van Dorn, 1-0. Of course, they won the first 3 games. Of course, games 1 and 2 was Friday. 3-2, 2-0, then 4-3. One ball, no strikes. The 1-0. Hits a high fly ball in the right field. That may go out of play. Heading toward the right toward the creek. 1-1 to count. Of course, Mid-America was on top at 13-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. If everything goes according to plan, these two teams, both Mid-America and Central Methodist, meet in a 4-game series. That could determine first place in the Hard America Conference standings. 1-2 the count. Lehman's at second with the double. 1 out. Here's the 1-2. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. So 2 outs now for Kyle Metter. No homers. 13 RBIs. Mater in the first game went 0 for 3. First pitch. There's a strike, 0-1. 0-1 the count. 0-1. Fouls it to the screen. 0-2. Nick Myers on deck.
Gabby, 1 hit for them, please.
0-2 the count. 0-2. That kind of gets away there, and Lehman hits for third. That'll be a wild pitch. Yeah, that'll be a wild pitch, and now Lehman's at third.
1-2, Gabby.
1 ball, 2 strikes. One and 2 to count. Kyle Lehman's at third. He was on third with a double. He's started out with a double. Lines it right to Ray Ochoa for the third out. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Central Methodist 2 and Mount Mercy nothing.
Goal for Benedictine.
Walk-off home run. Boom, bada bang.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net.
Diego Duran up there. No homers, 14 RBIs on the year. Went 0 for 3 in the first game of the doubleheader. Sporting those pink gloves, those pink batting gloves. Hopefully, like I said earlier, every time I see it, I always want one, especially for my 50th birthday. There's a strike, 0-1 to count. Zeb Wheaties on deck. And then Joseph Weatherford. The 0-1 now. It's a roping foul ball. 0-2 now. Oh and 2 the count on Diego Durin. The 0-2. Ball 1-2 now. Central Methodist led 2-0 thanks to a 2-run homer by Carlos Negron, who has 2 homers and 5 RBIs so far in this doubleheader. Altogether, 15 homers, 47 RBIs. 1-2 pitch. 2-2 now. Of course, the Conference Player of the Week, they'll be announced on Monday, and I think Carlos will be the nominee. 2-2 the count. 2-2 pitch. Fouls that one off. Still 2-2. 2-2 the count on Carlos on Diego Durin. 2-2 pitch. A little cue shot off the pitcher's leg. Reacts, throw the first, and they got him. Wow. Hit it off the foot there. Made a good recovery. Makes the throw for the out. Now they're going to check and make sure he's okay then. That was a wicked shot. They hit the pitcher's foot there. But now they're going to check and make sure he's okay. Maybe take a few warm-up tosses.
Yeah, nobody's gun injuries.
May give him a few warm-up tosses, making sure he's okay there as well. And then, or if nothing else, I'm sure the athletic training site they used to, back in the 70s when they used to take care of pitchers, they used to put foot spray on him. They used to spray some foot with some Krylon foot spray.
I think we'll get a new pitcher.
Oh, okay. Well, it looks like we have a new pitcher on the mound there. This call the bullpen, sponsored by Verizon Wireless. So 1 1/3 inning
Cam, you let me know what
for
number this is.
Josh Fleming.
45. You can play warm-up music now.
That's Owen Broch, the new pitcher on the mound. 2-1 with 8 walks, 17 strikeouts. From Waikiki, Iowa. Of course, he can allow, since I know there's a rule there in Major League Baseball for injuries, they can have as many warm-up tosses as he could because he didn't have time to get his warm-up tosses. So he could probably get more than the normal 6 there as well. So
Q softball on 1-0.
softball won 1-0. Oh, that's good news. Softball 1-1-0. So they're 22-3, 3-0 in the conference. Clark is 0-3, 8-9 as well. How many hits did we have? I think we had just 1 hit for Clark.
I'll take a look.
Okay.
Clark, so CMU 1 run on 4 hits. Clark, no runs on 3 hits.
2 hits, okay.
3 hits.
3
Clark
hits.
had 3.
Okie dokie. Looks like Jordan Ball got the win there on a 3-hitter. Three hits. How about Of course, Central Methodist scored the only run in the 5th inning on the ground out by Madison White. Here's Zeb Weedy, 2 homers, 16 RBIs. Of course, I wished his mom a happy birthday. An amazing thing about Zeb's mom, Tiffany, she has the same birthday as Bob Costas. Here's a ground ball base hit there for Zeb Weedy. Third hit of the game there. And it's Joseph Weatherford up there. 5 homers, 24 RBIs. In the first game today, Weatherford went 1 for 2. Of course, his dad is here. I'm sure he's taking care of the dog there. Out there in the outfield there. Looking forward to seeing him probably Easter weekend and probably also Senior Day. Of course, lives in Batesville from Flower Mound, Texas. One and 0 the count. Wheaties at first. Strike on the outside corner. 1-1 there. One the count. The 1-1. Ooh, inside. 2-1 now. Dominic Van Doren on deck. The final line totals in that softball run: 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for Clark. Now they check on Zeb Weedy. Two and 1 the count. 2-1 pitch. 3-1 now. Oh, he thought about going, but he'll stay put. Three and 1 now on Weatherford. Swings and misses. 3-2. Dominic Van Doren on deck. Three and 2 now on Joseph Weatherford. They throw over there. Three and 2 the count. 3-2. Here's the ground ball to the second baseman. They'll go to second for 1 to first. Double play. 4-6-3 double play. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on. We head to the third. Central Methodist 2 and Mount Mercy nothing on the Hart Conference Network.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Mount Mercy. Of course, I want to thank the baseball team for getting me a new hat and a new pullover. As Nick Meyer with a homer and an RBI. First game today went 1 for 2. That home run came in the 3rd inning. Part of that 3-run inning that gave Mount Mercy a 3-1 lead there. But then Central Methodist added 3 more in the 6th for that 4-3 victory. Thanks to a homer by Carlos Negron. The 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Drake Frazier's on deck. 2-0 pitch. Fouls it all. 2-1 now. Two and 1 to count. 2-1 pitch. Hits a high fly ball. Looks like Weedy has it. Makes the catch, route number 1. So 1 out now for Drake Frazier. No homers, 8 RBIs. In the first game today, went 1 for 2 with a single. First pitch. Ball 1. 1-0 to count. The 1-0. 2-0 to count. On Drake Frazier. 2-0 pitch. Ground ball. Nice stop by Wren. Throws over to Joseph Whitaker for out number 2. So 2 quick outs now for Josh Notriano. Struck out his first time up. First pitch. Ground ball. That gets by Wren for a single. Second hit of the game for Mount Mercy. A 2-out hit there. There's Joe Vasky. He struck out his first time up.
2 hits, Gabby. 2 hits for the Gash.
First pitch to him. There's a strike. 0-1 now. 0-1 now on Joe Vasky. 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. That is called reaching back for something extra, as Kurt Gowdy used to say on NBC television. 0-2 to count. 0-2 pitch. Ball 1-2. Matthew Murphy on deck. 1-2. Swing and a miss. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. It is Central Methodist 2 and Mount Mercy nothing.
No matter where you are in your educational journey, Central Methodist University is here for you. With CMU, you can learn on our beautiful campus in Fayette, Missouri, earn a degree completely online, or attend classes at one of our many statewide sites. Whichever path you choose, you will get a quality education that will prepare you for the future you envision. Select one of our programs of distinction in music, biology, or nursing, or choose from more than 60 degree options offered at the undergraduate and graduate levels. And if you decide to join us on campus, you will be able to take advantage of all the university has to offer, including dozens of clubs and organizations, a robust student life, and top-notch NAIA athletics. Discover what makes us different and how a degree from CMU can prepare you for the future. Discover Central Methodist University today.
That's 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for Mount Mercy as Dominic Van Dorn up there. 1 for 3. First game today went 0 for 2. First pitch. It's a high pop foul. 0-1 to count. I think softball should be getting started. It's probably going to be either Haley Cotter or Hallie Ferris. 0-1 now. Lines it to the shortstop. Boy, he hit that on the button there. There's 1 out now for Bobby Nichols. He grounded out his first time up. 2-0 Central Methodist. The first pitch to him. Ball, 1-0 the count. Bobby Nichols. Grounded to short. The 1-0. Hits a high fly ball in the right field. Right fielder has some room. Makes the catch. Terrible. 2 outs now for Valentin Cerna Jr. He flew out to center field his first time up.
Now batting the second baseman, number 7, Valentin Cerna Jr.
First pitch to him. There's a strike on the inside corner. 0-1 now. Oh, 1 pitch. Ball, 1-1 now. One and one to count. 1-1 pitch. There's a ground ball. There's a base hit for Valentin Cerna Jr. A 2-out hit there. 4th hit of the game for Central Methodist. There's Tanner Sears. He singled and scored on the home run by Carlos Negron.
Now batting the third baseman, number 21, Tanner Sears.
First pitch. That's a ball. 1-0 to count. Carlos Negron on deck. Hit a 2-run homer and gave Central Methodist a 2-0 lead there. Valentin Cerna Jr. is at first. If Sears can hit a double, that could score Valentin Cerna Jr. Especially if he hits it down the left field, right field, and even the gap between center and right. Or even between left and center. The 1-0. Strike, 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike on Tanner Sears. They throw over there, and back goes Valentin Cerna Jr. They won the first game 4-3. The 1-1 fouls it off, 1-2.
They won the first, they won up.
1-2 to count. One ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. Ooh, high. 2-2 now. As Ben Scully will say, that's called a showcase pitch. Trying to get the batter to swing and miss. 2-2 to count on Tanner Sears. Valentin Cerna Jr. is on first with a 2-out single. They're just testing him close. Two and two the count on Tanner Sears. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So no runs on one hit, no errors, one left. We are headed to the fourth. Central Methodist 2, Mount Mercy nothing.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
Two runs, 4 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for Mount Mercy. Here's Matthew Murphy. He popped to Diego Dioren. Pitch to him. There's a strike. Of course, his last appearance. Pitched one good inning against Waldorf last Saturday. Of course, when Central Methodist baseball defeated Waldorf 12-1. 1-1 to count. Where Seitz went 6th, and then Ochoa pitched the 7th. 1-2 to count. One and two to count. The 1-2 fouls it off. Still 1-2. One, two, the count. 2-2. Central Methodist 24-4. Mount Mercy 12-13. 2-2 pitch. 3-2. 3-2 the count. 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. Good job of framing it by Dominic Van Dorn, as Joe Garagiola would say on NBC television. There's Kyle Lehman. He's doubled his first time up. First pitch to him. Fouls it off. 0-1 now. Oh and 1 to count. There's Shelly Sears sporting that Polaroid camera. Strike 2. 0-2 now. 0-2 now. 0-2 pitch. Fouls it off. 0-2 now. Oh and 2 the count. 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. So 2 quick outs now.
It'll come back on. It's already done it 2 times. I've watched it.
Jaden Hackbar popped out to Ray Ochoa when he was trying to lay down the bunt. First pitch. Little looper. Let's see if Negron, he won't get to it. That's a 2-out hit there. 3rd hit of the game for Mount Mercy. And here's Bryce Brown up there. He struck out his first time up. Where at?
What'd you say, Kim?
First pitch. Looping liner. Legrand gives a chase. Makes the catch. Had to fight the sun and makes it for the third out. It's no runs, one hit, no errors, one left. Halfway home. 2-0 Central Methodist. Two runs, 4 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 3 hits, and no errors for Mount Mercy. Legrand up there. He hit 2-run homer his first time up. Gave Central Methodist a 2-0 lead there. First pitch to him. That hit him. Oh, my. So he'll take first base. And here is Jeremy Conforte. He lined out his first time up to short. Actually, he popped to short his first time up there.
Number 33, Jeremy Conforti.
So Legrand's at first. He was hit by a pitch. Trying to add to this 2-0 lead there. Throw over there. First pitch tries to bunt, and that's a strike. 0-1 now.
Oh, one, Gabby. Don't fall asleep on me now.
0-1 to count. 0-1 pitch. Lays out a beautiful bunt. Third baseman, his only play is to first. So now looks like a sack bunt. It looks like it's 5. I think it's 5-3 on your scorecard. So 1 out now, and at second base is Legrand for Diego Duran. He grounded out to the pitcher his first time. And that was the last batter that Josh Fleming faced in game number 2 before he left with the foot injury. First pitch. Strike, 0-1 now. Yeah. Diego Duran from Valenzuela. Also another famous athlete. That's Ozzie again, the 1985 American League Rookie of the Year with the Chicago White Sox. Here's a ground ball. Gets by the third baseman there. A base hit there. And Legrand will stop at third. 6 hits now. Actually, 5 hits for Central Methodist. Zab Weedy. He singled his first time up. Legrand's at third, Duran's at first. And let's see if they may pull the old double steal trick. First pitch. Strike called. The last player to ever steal home in a World Series, Tim McCarver, did that in Game 7 of the 1964 World Series against the Yankees on a double steal where McCarver was at third, and I believe Julian Javier was at first. 0-1 now. Ball 1 now. 1-1 now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Negron's at third. Duran's at first. 2-0 lead for Central Methodist. The 1-1 tries to bunt. Foul ball. Trying the old suicide squeeze like Whitey Herzog used to do that a lot when he was the manager of the Cardinals. He was the master of pulling off the suicide squeeze. And I think the Cardinals were the master of playing small ball back in the 1980s. And why not? Especially you have runners like Vince Coleman and Willie McGee. 1-2 pitch. Fouls it off. Oh, and 2 the count. 1-2 the count on Zeb Weedy. Joseph Weatherford's on deck. 1-2 the count. They throw over there. And it's a balk. Yeah, because I'll tell you this, he did not come to a set position. So it's 3-0 on the balk.
Gotta be one more run for us.
Did not come to a complete stop when he made the throw. That's like the old Louis Tiant play back in Game 1 of the 1975 World Series. There were a few times he tried to pick off Joe Morgan and was not successful, and Nick Coletti called a balk. So 3-0 now. And that second is Duran. Hits the ground ball. They go to third for the out. So 2 outs now. A fielder's choice.
6-5?
Yeah, 6-5.
Now batting the first baseman, number 29, Joseph Weatherford.
Here's Joseph Weatherford. He into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up.
I like that walk-up song.
Weeds at first on the fielder's choice. That's a ball outside. One and 0 to count. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0 to count. 2-0 to count on Joseph Weatherford. Zeb Weeds at first. 2-0 pitch. Fouls it off. 2-1. Bottom of the third inning. Central Methodist led 2-0 on a 2-run homer by Carlos Negron. And then they scored on the balk. That brought home Negron. 3-0 lead there. Two-one pitch. 3-1 now. Dominic Van Dorn on deck. Three and 1 the count. Three-one pitch. Swings and misses. 3-2 now. 3-2 the count. Three balls, 2 strikes. 3-2. Ball 4 now, so 2-out walk. Here's Dominic Van Dorn. He lined out to short his first time up.
Now batting the catcher, number 12, Dominic Van Dorn. We may have to look into him being in your song if this keeps up acting up like this. I don't know. It worked fine earlier, didn't it?
Heading toward the 4 o'clock hour. Bottom of the fourth inning. 3-0 Central Methodist. First pitch. There's a strike, 0-1 now. Bobby Nichols on deck. Oh and 1 to count. Now another balk. In all the years I have watched Major League Baseball on television, the average number of balks I have ever seen is 2. The most, I think it was 6. I think it was about 2 years ago against Peru. I think it was a year ago against Peru State. And I can remember, and the most famous umpire that is known to call a balk, a guy named Doug Harvey. Ball, 1-1 now. And Doug Harvey, and I think Harry Wendelstead was probably the 2 best umpires that was known to call a balk. And I can tell you in all the years I've watched baseball on television, whether it's on the Cardinals, WGN, TBS, NBC television, the Royals, ABC's Monday Night Baseball. 1-1 now, swing and a miss. ESPN Baseball. 1-2. And I think the National League at the time, they were the masters of calling balks. I remember a few times I've seen that in the World Series. And usually the only manager that ever got mad was Earl Weaver. The 1-2. Fouls it off. 1-2 now with Weedy at third. Weatherford's at second.
You're the reason the scoreboard keeps cutting out because you're spitting, punching on these buttons. Yeah.
1-2 the count. One ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2. Oh, that hit him. And now the bases are loaded full of Eagles. And we'll probably have a courtesy runner there, and I believe that's Trey Vorwald.
Number 3.
Running at first base, number 3, Trey Vorwald.
Come on, Bobby.
So it looks like we may have a pitching change. And there's a call to bullpen sponsored by Subway. Let's see who our new pitcher is.
Gabby, let me know who this picture is, will you? No, can't be 35. Oh, well, maybe. Oh, Lord. I'm gonna need to turn around.
39.
How many different number variations do we think?
That is Nathan Pardini.
Pardini, I would say. You probably know. You probably don't ask him.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Mustangs, number 39, Nathan Pardini. All right, CK. I'm entrusting the announcing body.
No matter where you are in your educational journey, Central Methodist University is here for you. With CMU, you can learn on our beautiful campus in Fayette, Missouri, earn a degree completely online, or attend classes at one of our many statewide sites. Whichever path you choose, you will get a quality education that will prepare you for the future you envision. Select one of our programs of distinction in music, biology, or nursing, or choose from more than 60 degree options offered at the undergraduate and graduate levels. And if you decide to join us on campus, you will be able to take advantage of all the university has to offer, including dozens of clubs and organizations, a robust student life, and top-notch NAIA athletics. Discover what makes us different and how a degree...
Strikeouts. From Arlington Heights, Illinois, around the Chicago area. One of my favorite TV shows that ever took place, The Bob Newhart Show. And they had Bob Newhart, who worked as a psychologist in an office building. They had a receptionist named Carol Kester. Of course, the lady, I'm sure many of us may remember, named Marcia Wallace, who later played Bart Simpson's teacher on The Simpsons Show. And they had an orthodontist named Jerry Robinson. who at one time was showed up in a foul mood, and he took his anger out on Carol Kester. As Bobby Nichols up there 0 for 2, bases loaded for Eagles. Weedy at third, Weatherford second. That is Trey Vorwald, the courtesy runner. And a swing and a miss, strike one.
Coming up next. Cerna.
There is activity in the Central Methodist bullpen. I think that's Ochoa getting some warm-up tosses there. The 0-1 fouls it off, 0-2. Oh and 2 to count. Oh and 2 to count on Bobby Nichols. Here's your 0-2. Hits the ground ball to the third baseman. Throw over the first. And they got him. Bang, bang play. But for the third out. So 1 run on just 2. 1 hit. No errors. 3 left on. We are through 4. Central Methodist 3. Mount Mercy nothing.
A goal for Benedictine.
Walk-off home run. Boom, bada bang.
Davis Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net.
Don't know if Ponte's out. Here's a shot. There's a goal.
3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for Central Methodist, no runs. 3 hits and no errors for Mount Mercy. Here's Kyle Mater. He lined out to Ray Ochoa his first time up. Top of the 5th inning. Heading toward the 4 o'clock hour. And that's a ball. Game started at 2:58. I think we'll be past 4 o'clock. We may be done at 5. The 1-0. Hits a little pop up there. Let's see who calls for it. I think that is Diego Duran makes the catch. We're out number 1. Here's Nick Meyer. He flew out to Zeb Weedy his first time up. First pitch. That's a ball, 1-0 to count. Top of the 5th inning, 3-0 Central Methodist. 2 in the first and then 1 in the 4th. It's a fly ball there. I think Negron has some room. And there's 2 quick outs. Of course, 2 in the first inning came on a 2-run homer by Carlos Negron. Then the third one came on a balk. There's Drake Frazier. He grounded out to Diego Duran. Actually, a new player comes in there. That's Ryan Knowlton. Ryan Knowlton up the bat. 161, 1 homer, 4 RBIs. From St. Charles, Illinois. Just around the St. Louis area. First pitch. That's a ball, 1-0 to count. Josh Nortriano on deck. 1-1 now.
You gotta leave, Gabby? You gotta leave? So you have to leave?
1-1. 2-1 to count.
2-1.
2 balls and a strike. 2-1 pitch. There's a strike. 2-2 now. Last time we had a 1-2-3 inning. First inning. 2-2 pitch. Ooh, way outside. Nice stop by Dominic Van Dorn. Just like the great Dominic Hasek used to do that for the Detroit Red Wings. 3-2 pitch. Fouls it off. 3-2 now. And of course, 4 weeks from tonight, the Stanley Cup playoffs begin. Hockey's greatest championship. Strike 3 called. A 1-2-3 inning goes Mount Mercy. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Central Methodist 3. Mount Mercy nothing.
No matter where you are in your educational journey, Central Methodist University is here for you. With CMU, you can learn on our beautiful campus in Fayette, Missouri, earn a degree completely online, or attend classes at one of our many statewide sites. Whichever path you choose, you will get a quality education that will prepare you for the future you envision. Select one of our programs of distinction in music, biology, or nursing, or choose from more than 60 degree options offered at the undergraduate and graduate levels. And if you decide to join us on campus, you will be able to take advantage of all the university has to offer, including dozens of clubs and organizations, a robust student life, and top-notch NAIA athletics. Discover what makes us different and how a degree from CMU can prepare you for the future. Discover Central Methodist University today.
Three runs, 5 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for Mount Mercy. Here's Valentin Cerna Jr., 1 for 2 with a single. First pitch to him. It's a high fly ball into center field. Center fielder gives it chase, and it's gone. A home run for Valentin Cerna Jr., and that's his second of the year. RBI number 20, and a 4-0 lead there for Central Methodist. That was a big one there. That gives some room for Ray Ochoa to work with. The 6th hit of the game now.
6 hits, Gabby.
Here's Tanner Sears, 1 for 2 with a single. First pitch to him. There's a strike. Oh, 1 now. There's a ground ball to the shortstop. Throws over the first. Just got him. So 1 out now. And here's Carlos Negron. He's been on base twice. Hit a 2-run homer in the first and then hit by a pitch in the fourth. First pitch. Ball 1. One and 0 to count. The 1-0. There's a strike. 1-1 now. If everything goes according to plan, we'll interview Nate Breland, talk about the big 4-gamer. Yeah, it's Mount Mercy. Also will preview the matchup with Mid-American Nazarene there next weekend. Foul ball. 1-2 to count on Carlos Negron. One ball, 2 strikes. Ooh, that's a bit high. 2-2. So far in this doubleheader, Negron has 2 homers, 5 RBIs. most likely be the conference player of the week. They'll announce it on Monday. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. So 2 outs now. Here's Jeremy Conforti. 0 for 1. Popped to short. And then has sack bunt. And that 4th inning. And that sack bunt led to the 3rd run on the balk. First pitch. That's a bit high. 1-0 to count. 1-0 to count. The 1-0. Strike. 1-1. One pitch. A foul ball. 1-2 now. One and two to count on Jeremy Conforti. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 call. So 1 run on 1 hit. Thanks to a home run by Valentine Cerna Jr. has given Central Methodist a 4-0 lead. Four runs, 6 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 0 runs, 3 hits, and no errors for Mount Mercy. Here's Josh Notriano. 1 for 2 with a single.
Yep. Bottom first.
First pitch. Strike.
Strike, Gabriel.
0-1 to count. 0-1.
That's a strike. No?
1-1 now. Looked like he checked the swing in time. Held up. 1-1. One. Line to right to Weatherford. Played it perfectly. 1 out. Here's Joe Vasky. 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Pretty good today.
First pitch. That's a ball. 1-0 to count. 2 hours and 49 minutes. It's the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers NHL Game of the Week on ABC television. 2-0 to count. Two-0 pitch. Oh, that's missed. 3-0. Strike. 3-1 now. 3 balls and a strike on Joel Vasky. 3-1. Oh, nice job on the inside corner. He goes from 3-0 to 3-2. Looks like that's Nathan Billow warms up. 3-2. Little ground ball. Valentine Sterner Jr. couldn't get to it there. That's a base hit all the way. Good effort there. Fourth hit of the game for Mount Mercy. Here's Matthew Murphy, 0 for 2. Ray Ochoa just needs to talk to the baseball. Point to the catcher. First pitch. Ball 1 now. 4 hits already for Mount Mercy. 6 hits for Central Methodist. The 1-0. Strike. 1-1 now. 1-1 to count. 1-1. Fly ball hit well. Nichols is there for out number 2. Two outs now for Kyle Lehman. 1 for 2 with a double. Kyle Lehman, 1 for 2. Double in this second inning. First hit of the game there. Vasquez at first with a 2-out, with a 1-out single. First pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Cam, will you run stats for me after this game? Will you run stats for me after this game again? Remember when I gave you the stat sheets?
Strike. 0-2 now. 0-2.
Deliver the stats, I mean.
0-2 now with Jaden Hackbarth on deck. 0-2. Little Q shot. That's a base hit there. Head to third. And now going into second is, I think that should be a single, then take second on the throw.
All right, we'll go with that. I like it.
So it's a single. Here's Jaden Hackbarth, 1 for 2 with a single. So now it looks like Jordan Schwellenbach will go out there to talk with Ray Ochoa.
Gabby.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
Who is this for?
Here's Hackbarth. So second and third. Lehman is at second. Singled and went to second on the throw. On the throw to third. That's a ball. Vasquez at third. 1-0 to count.
Cam, anyone warming up? Anyone warming up?
Alexander Billow. 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. Bryce Brown on deck. 2-0 to count there. Second and third, 2 out, 2-0 pitch. Ooh, 3-0 now. Three and 0 to count. Three-0 pitch. Ball 4 now. So the bases are loaded for Mustangs. Here is Bryce Brown, 0 for 2. Struck out in the second, and then flew out to Carlos Segura in the fourth. So the bases are loaded for Mustangs. If you look to the 6, you have Duran, Weedy, and Weatherford. First pitch. Fly ball hit well to left field. It is a grand slam. A tie game by Bryce Brown. And Bryce Brown, his second of the year, RBI number 8, and a tie game.
Just 5, yeah. 4.
And a tie game at 4. Ochoa just needs to settle down, talk to the baseball, and looks like we'll have a pitching change there.
Bill, 15.
Yeah, Billow's 15.
I think it's over here.
A call the bullpen now is sponsored by State Farm Insurance. A tie game at 4.
Huh?
Billow's got music, right?
He should, yeah.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Eagles, number 15, Alex Billow. Oh, if we get it done before softball, you can go up there and work it. I love that Gabby just learned baseball, what, 2 months ago, if that?
Alexander Billow, 1-0, 4.50 ERA, 6 walks, 15 strikeouts from Winter Haven, Florida. Of course, like I say, I just mom, Natalie. I'm sure she is listening in on the broadcast down in Winter Haven.
No.
And now here is
Now batting, number 15, Kyle Mayer.
here's Kyle Mater, 0 for 2. Line to Ray Ochoa, and then pop to Diego Duran. First pitch. Ball, 1-0 to count. 2 out. 5 2/3 for Ray Ochoa.
Oh, winning.
1-0 pitch. There's a strike, 1-1 now. 4-4 tie. Nick Meyer on deck. The 1-1. Oh, nice job. 1-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strike. 1-2 the count. 1-2. Little cue shot to Weatherford. He'll take it himself. So 4 big runs on just 3 hits. No errors and no one let on. We head to the 6th inning. A tie game at 4.
Pitcher. Is it still 39?
No. 5.
5?
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Mustangs, number 5, Tyler Nagelbach.
So Tyler Nagelbach, the 4th pitcher already today. 1-0 with a walk and 14 strikeouts there. from Deerfield, Illinois. Right on around the northern side of Illinois. Central Methodist led 2-0 after 1 and 3-0 after 4. 4-0. And then Mount Mercy put up a 4 spot there. Thanks to a grand slam home run by Bryce Brown.
Diego. Number 4.
4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Mount Mercy. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. Here's Diego Duran, 1 for 2 with a single.
Now batting the shortstop, number 4, Diego Durin.
First pitch. Strike, 0-1 now. Zeb Weedy on deck. 0-1 now. Way outside, 1-1.
1-1, Gavin.
1-1 pitch. 2-1 now. Two and one to count. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2 now. 42,400 on hand. Millions are watching on television across the world. Estes Field shivering with its concrete foundations. Here's a cue shot to the second baseman. Throws over the first for out number 1. Here's Zeb Weedy, 1 for 2 with a single.
Now batting the left fielder, number 11, Zeb Weedy.
First pitch to him. There's a strike, 0-1 now. Joseph Weatherford's on deck. Now, looks like Marcus Pritchard's warming up in the bullpen. There's a ground ball to second. Throws over the first for out number 2. 2 quick outs now. For Joseph Weatherford, 0 for 1 with a walk.
Now batting the first baseman, number 29, Joseph Weatherford.
First pitch to him. Fouls it off. 0-1 in the count. No balls and 1 strike. The 0-1. Ball, 1-1 now. One ball, 1 strike. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 now. Pritchard still warming up in the bullpen. Van Dorn on deck. 1-2. Little cue shot. Knocks it down. Weatherford will make it to first. That's a hit all the way. No question about it. 7 hits now for Central Methodist.
Yeah, Dom's song is not playing.
Okay. I don't know what the deal is. Pinch runner number 3.
Vorwald is the courtesy runner.
Running at first base, number 3, Trey Vorwald. And
So-
batting the catcher, number 12, Dominic Van Dorn.
Here's Dominic Van Dorn. 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch his last time up in the 4th.
So it did, it's just stupid quiet for the first 15 seconds.
So 7 hits now for Central Methodist. They check on Trey Vorwald. 6. Now they throw back over there. Almost got away. Vorwald, a courtesy runner for Weatherford on first. 4-4 tie. The pitch to him. Strike, 0-1 now. Bobby Nichols on deck. No balls and 1 strike. Now they check on Vorwald. If Van Dorn can hit a shot, like say in deep left, or maybe between center, left and center, or center and right, or deep right, Vorwald could score from first on the double. Oh and 1 to count. 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. 0-2 now. Pritchard's warming up. 0-2 to count. No balls and 2 strikes on Dominic Van Dorn. 0-2. Ball 1. Four tie. Heading toward 4:30 on Saturday, March the 23rd. Of course, next weekend is Easter Sunday. 1-2 pitch. 2-2. Two and 2 to count on Dominic Van Dorn. 2 balls and 2 strikes. They check on him. Two. Fouls it off. 2-2. Just to increase the tension. Two and 2 to count. 2-2 pitch. Little cue shot, foul ball.
Two softballs up 3-0 in the top of the
3-0
3rd.
softball lead over Clark, 3rd inning. Softball is trying to go for win number 23, but mostly important start. 4-0 in the conference. They have a big one against Baker on Friday at noon. 2 and 2 to count. 2-2 pitch. Hits a ground ball to the third baseman. Throws over the first for the 3rd out. So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1. We head to the 7th inning. It is a 4-4 tie.
Bale takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
I just didn't know, like Good Friday and Easter, if they like still set games on, like if they
I
still
don't know if we'll
schedule.
play Sunday. I'll have to look. Let's see. These guys. 29th and 30th.
6-7.
Baseball's just Friday, Saturday.
Softball.
Softball, I couldn't tell you.
I think that's just Friday, and then they play Monday. I think it was supposed to be us 7 hits for us.
Gabby, can you put one more hit up for CMU? One more hit up for CMU.
4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for Mount Mercy.
Oh, that is a pinch hit.
So Brandon Bickford. Bickford came in there as the team's leading hitter. No homer, 6 RBIs. He batted 1 time and grounded out to Tanner Sears. First pitch. Ball 1. 1-0 to count. The 1-0. Fouls it off, 1-1. If you look at the bottom of the 7, you got the top of the order. Nichols, Cerna, Jr., and Sears. One and 1. 2-1. 2 balls and a strike.
Gabby, can you clear your outs?
2-1 pitch. Ooh, chin music. 3-1.
I think they were missing some players.
3-1.
Yeah.
Ball 4. So here's Drake Frazier, went 0 for 1.
Pinch runner number 2.
Yeah. Grounded out to short.
Pinch runner number 2, Cam. I think he's just re-entering, probably.
Yeah, he's just probably re-entering it, so.
Yeah.
Rounded out to Diorin, and then
2. It's 2. It's 2.
now Braylon wants an explanation there.
Gabby, go see who that number is, will you? No, but I need your life box. Wait. 90% true. After all that. Alright. Fun stuff.
So Bickford's back at first. So Frazier, who's batted once, and then Ryan Knowlton subbed in for him in the 5th. First pitch tries the bunt, lays out a bunt.
That is a 2.
And now throw over the first for the sack bunt. 2-3 on your scorecard. So at second is Bickford. Here's Josh Nortiano, 1 for 3 with a single.
New pitcher, I bet.
I bet that's Marcus Pritchard. So Randy Pritchard, the new pitcher on the mound. 0-1, 5.63 ERA, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. He is from Winter Haven, Florida. Had a great visit in between games of the doubleheader with his mom. Third pitcher of the day for Central Methodist.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for the Eagles, number 22, Marcus Pritchard.
So Pritchard. Now you see both coaches talking it over.
The goal for Benedictine.
Walk-off home run. Boom, bada bang.
Davis Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net.
At second, he drew a walk and then moved there on the sac bunt by Drake Frazier. 4-4 tie. Of course, Central Methodist led 2-0 after one. Then they added a run on the third on the balk, and then Valentine.
26 is now at second. Q.
Okay. Valentine Cerner Jr. homer to make it 4-0, and then the grand slam homer by Bryce Brown. Looks like Derek Einerson is the courtesy runner. From Norwalk, Iowa. So 4-4 time. So activity in the Central Methodist bullpen, that is Landon Winningham. Nortriano is at bat, 1 for 3. Einerson's at second, the go-ahead run. First pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one.
No one, Gabby.
0-1 the count.
Gabby, 0-1. There you go.
0-1 pitch. Nice stop by Van Dorn, but not far enough. 1-1 now. Of course, baseball's opening day on March the 28th, 6:30 p.m. Chicago Cubs take on the defending World Series champion Texas Rangers. Rangers won their first World Series championship, 5 games over the Arizona Diamondbacks. Coverage starts with baseball tonight at 6 o'clock. Fly ball to left. I think Weedy has some room. And there's out number 2. There's Joe Vasky. 1 for 3 with a single. That started at 4-run 6th inning. Marcus Pritchard trying to keep it where it is. First pitch. There's a strike. 0-1 now. 0-1 to count. 0-1. Ball 1. 1-1 to count. Landon Winningham is in the bullpen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Matthew Murphy on deck. 1-1. Oh, beautiful one. 1-2. One and two the count. Einerson is at second. 1-2 pitch. Looping line. Good job by Sears. Plays the bounce to Weatherford for the third out. So no runs on no hits, no errors, and they lead one. We head to the 7th inning. A tie game at 4.
Bales takes this shot, whips it in, and it's in the back of the net!
I'm gonna assume it's 2. I'm gonna say 2. Alright, Bobby, get us started, will ya?
Four runs, 7 hits, no errors for Central Methodist. 4 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for Mount Mercy. As Bobby Nichols up there 0 for 3.
Now batting the center fielder, number 5, Bobby Nichols.
Nichols 0 for 3. Grounded to short. Flew to right and then grounded to third. First pitch. Fouls it off. 0-1 now. 4-4 tie. Not a way to end your Saturday afternoon. 0-1 to count. 0-1. High fly ball in the left field. She is gone! A home run for Bobby Nichols. 5 homers, 17 RBIs. In the year that is so improbable, the impossible has happened. And I tell you one thing, if there is one person that is smiling down from heaven, that is Tom Lasorda. And the question is, could he run the bases unassisted? The answer is yes. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Mount Mercy. 5 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Central Methodist 25-4. 11-1 in the count. Mount Mercy 12-14, 8-4 in the count. We'll have a post game. We'll also interview Bobby Nichols after today's game. Quentin Norris saying so long. That's 7,360 of them. We'll see you in a bit then.